Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, whenever and wherever you are watching this video from. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to solve the whole paper, all 23 questions. Okay, I'll be explaining them nicely, step by step, so that you understand, my good friends. Okay, nice. So let's get started without wasting much of the time. All right, so come on, flipping a page. This is the first question, and the first question, this is an algebraic question. So without fear of anything, we start solving. Okay, so it's saying simplify this. So to simplify this, the first thing you need to know is to understand the topic, to know the topic where this question is coming from. Okay. Remember, this is paper 1, you need to answer all 23 what? All 23 questions. All right? Calculators are not allowed in this paper. So, I'm going to copy the question. This is 3, open bracket, x plus 3, close bracket, minus 2x, open bracket, x minus 1, close bracket. Then we expand, because here we have 2 brackets. So we have this party, we're going to expand using a 3. This side, we're going to expand using a negative 2x. All right. So 3 times x, this is 3x. Okay, this is 3x. 3 times 3, this is 9. Negative 2 times, there is an invisible 1 here, so it's just negative 2. X times x is x squared. Are you seeing how I'm solving this? I'm not just multiplying negative 2x times x. First, multiply number by number, then variable by variable. Are you following? Let me explain. Negative 2 times, there is an invisible 1. It is negative 2. Then you go to the next. X times x, it is x squared. Same as here. Negative 2 times negative 1 is what? Positive 2. Then we don't have an x here. So just bring what? The x. Okay, the way it is. Okay. Then, when you reach this stage, just collect like terms. You see, this is 3x, this is x. So when it comes to like or unlike terms, you follow variables. Okay. So this, the variables, what I mean is letters. Like here we have x. So x here, we also have x here. But this one, yes, we have x, but this is x squared. It's not the same as these two. Okay. So you can just group 1, 2. And it will be, this will be 3x plus 2x plus 9 minus 2x squared. Okay. So these are the only terms that are like 3. After grouping them, you can only add the coefficients, numbers in front of the variable. So we have 3 and 2. 3 plus 2 is 5. So 5 what? 5x. Not 5x squared. We're not multiplying, we're just adding here. Then plus 9 minus 2x squared. Okay. 2x squared. We check if if you have a like term, you have like terms, we don't have. So this is the final what? This is the final answer. So you bring your answer here and write, you write your answer here as 5x plus 9 minus 2x squared. Okay? Have you understood? Very good, very good. Let's proceed. We go to the next question. The next question, question is under indices, and it's very simple. So we are asked to evaluate. To evaluate is just to solve and just arrive at this, calculate and arrive at the final answer. Okay? Or in other words, find the whole number. All right? This is not the whole number. This is just an expression. So we've just simplified this one. Here we need to find the actual answer. All right. Evaluate 4 to the power half multiplied by 4. This is very simple. So what we're going to do here is check. This is 4 to the power fraction, and one of the laws of indices states that when you have something like this, you have a to the power m over n. The n here, which is the denominator rather of the fraction, becomes the root of this one, and this one becomes what? Nth root of, like this, a to the power m. So that's what we're going to do here. So this, we're going to say this is the n. We're going to say square root of 4. Okay, square here, this square root symbol means 2. So we have the square root of 4 to the power 1, just 1. So we the same as not showing it. Okay, times 4. The square root of 4 is what? 2. A number, when you multiply itself twice, 2 times would give you a 4. That is what? 2. Then 4 here. Then 2 times 4 is just 8. So you bring your answer here as 8. Okay. It is simple. Okay. Kafendera kamwana kamuntu, slow but sure. Let's go to the next question, which is question 3. Okay. Remember there are 23 questions, right? Okay, you have 23 questions. So let's solve. Factorize completely. What kind of factorization is this? Because we have grouping terms, difference of 2 squares. We also have quadratic expression. Now, what type of factorization is this? This is grouping terms, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 terms, so this is grouping terms. Okay, so let's write. The question is 3a minus c minus 3ab plus bc. Okay, now let's factorize. Let's group them. We know that we have nothing common in all the 4 terms. So what you do is to group them. Do we have what is common between the first and second term? No. How about the first and third term? Yes, we have 3 and a. Then we can group them. 3a minus 3ab. Then this one will be negative, just the same, negative c plus b, because we also have c, which is common here, which is less negative c. That is common. Now, listen. This here, do not change the sign. This is just changing the position, coming this side. Okay? It's not crossing the equal sign. You don't have an equal sign here. So don't change signs, please. I know there is always that one who has challenges with signs. But understand that when you don't have an equal sign and the term is just changing position, you don't change the sign. Are you getting the point? Great. Great. Now, what is common between the first 2? So we are grouping them. So we are going to do this, these 2, and these 2. Okay. So let's factorize now by common factor. 3 is common. So you can factor out 3. A is also common, like this. Then 3a into 3a is just 1. Okay. This is positive 3. Positive 3 into negative 3 is negative 1. A and A will cancel. Just remain with what? Just remain with B. Now listen and listen very well. Whatever we're going to do this side in brackets should have 1 minus B. Or else you are doing the wrong thing. Okay? So whatever we're going to do here in brackets should have 1 minus B. So let's see. So what's common here? We have C. But check, you have a negative and plus C. So here we're going to say it's negative what? Negative C. That is common. The aim of doing this is that we should have a minus between a positive A, a positive 1, and the B. You should have a minus. So negative divided by negative is positive. C into C is just 1. So this is what we're having. Negative divided by positive is negative. C and C will cancel, just remain with B. You see what I was telling you? That we're gonna have 1 minus B, even this side, 1 minus B. Okay? So in brackets we have 1 minus B. which tells us that we are doing the correct thing. This is, if this is not correct, if not, they're not the same, you have, even if it's just the sign, 1 minus b, then here you have 1 plus b. Just know that you're just wasting your time. So just stop. What should you do? Just stop there and go to the next question, because you're just wasting your time. What's in brackets here should be the same. So since we have what's the same here, identical, we can just write one of the two, 1 minus b in brackets. Okay, then whatever is in front here, which is 3a, put it in brackets 3a, attach it to what you see here, which is minus c, and this becomes your what? Your final answer. So here we're going to write 1 minus b brackets 3a minus c. It is as simple as this. Okay, I hope you are following nicely. Kafendela kamwana kamuntu flipping next page. Okay, question 4. All right, this is nice. Question 4, we are asked to shade A complement intersect B union C. Rather, intersect B intersect C, but this is not union, on the diagram in the answer space provided below. Okay, so we are not afraid. This is 2 marks. Nice. This is very simple. You can solve this in seconds. Okay, there is a shortcut to solving this question. Now, look at this. You have A complement. Okay, A complement. So meaning we are not supposed to shade anywhere in A. Set A here. Set A will be completely unshaded. Then we are asked to just shade it to intersect B intersect C. B intersect C is what? Is this part. B intersect C is this part. Okay, including here. But since this part here, this smaller part here, is part of A, we are not going to shade this side. We're just going to shade this. Okay, this one. Now, this I said that we're going to shade this. To explain nicely, I can say, let me just use a different color here. Let me put values. Let me say, let me put A, B here, C, D, E, F here, then G. Let's put H outside. Okay. Let's pretend. Let's pretend we don't know what to do here. I want to explain where you're supposed to what to shade. Now, A complement. Let's list the A complement. A complement are all elements that are outside what? This A. We have E, F, G, H. We have E, F, G, and H. Okay. Then we are asked, let's to find what is common in A complement and in B union C. B intersect C. Why am I saying union? Okay. B intersect C. What is common in B and C is E, C, and F. C and F. So C and F. Now, look, we need to find this. Now, we have 2 sets. Just consider this as 2 sets. Consider this as we are having A complement and this side. So we are told that to list what is common in this set and in this set. That's what it means here. What is common? Very good. F is common. And where is F? F is here. So that's why we're going to shade. That's good. Let's go to the next question. We're done with that question. Okay. Solve the equation. All right. Still, as we are going to solve, this is x minus 1 close bracket squared minus 25 is equals to 0. Okay, so this one The first thing, we're going to take this -5 to the other side, so that this side we just remain with what? X minus 1 squared is equals to 25. This is the standard D form. Okay, now we square root both sides. All right, square root both sides. This square root symbol and the 2 cancel, just remain with what? X minus 1 is equals to the square root of 25 is 5. It can either be positive or minus 5. Okay, which tells us that we are going to have two answers. So here we are going to say X minus 1 is equals to positive 5, or X minus 1 is equals to negative 5. And so for X, here we're going to say X and add, this is -1, so we're going to add 1 to both sides. Okay, in other words, the -1 will cross the cosine and it becomes positive 1. This side will do the same. This is -5. This will cross the cosine, it becomes positive 1. X is equals to 6, or X is equals to -5 plus 1. I know there is you who is thinking of 6. Oh, 6. Okay. When you have two numbers with different signs, you subtract and get the sign from the bigger number. You remember now, huh? That's good. So here, 5 minus 1 is 4. Sign from the bigger number is negative, so it is -4. We have two answers, which tells us even here is the we have two spaces where you're supposed to put our answer. X is equals to 6 or -4. Okay, arithmetic progression. So the question is saying, given that 7, 11, 15, 19, is an arithmetic progression, find the 10th term. Simple. So the nth term of an AP is given by the formula Tn is equals to A plus open bracket n minus 1 close bracket D, where A, so data here, where A is the first term, which is 7, n is the number of terms we're asked to find 10 terms, 10th term, so which is just 10. Then D is the common difference, and it's been calculated by using the formula the second term minus the first term. In other words, the next term divided minus the previous term. So you can use the second term minus the first, third term minus second, fourth term minus third. Simple. So you're going to get the same answer. Okay. So second term is 11. 11 minus 7. If my mind serves me well here, it's 4. Okay. Even when you do 15 minus 11 should get a 4. 19 minus 15 should get a 4. That's what it means when you say common difference. It's common. So with this data, let's substitute. T, n is 10, A is 7, plus A is 7, not n rather. N is 10 minus 1. Common difference is 4. So here you can only solve what is in the brackets. Okay. So 7 plus 10. 10 minus 1 is 9. Okay, so you can just say 9, then 4 outside. Here you can't add because 9 here is in brackets, so you can just multiply. Okay, then just say 9 times what? 9 times 4. Okay, which is 36. So we have 7 plus 36. Okay, 7 plus what? 36. So this is 43. So 10th term is 43. Then the second question is saying, find the sum of the first 12 terms. Simple. So apply the formula. The formula is Sn for sum is equals to n over 2, open bracket, 2a plus, open bracket, n minus 1, close parenthesis D, then close bracket. This is the formula. And let's substitute. Data here, by the way, n here is 12 according to the question. N is 12. Then A, we also have A here. A is still 7. Then D is just the same, is 4, common difference. So let's substitute this data. So S12 is equals to, N is 12, 12 over 2, open bracket. So 2 times the first term, which is 7, close, okay, plus, open parenthesis, N is 12 minus 1, close bracket, 4. Then we have this, okay. This is what we're having. So S12 is equals to 2 into 12 is 6. 2 times 7 is 14, plus 12 minus 1 is 11 times 4, okay. Multiplying it with 4. So here we are having 6, open bracket, 14 plus 11 times. So here we can't add because here we're multiplying. First multiply, that's when you're going to add. So this is 44, okay. Then we have 44 plus what? 44 plus 14, we're going to have 58. So 6 times 58, all right. So times 58. Okay, 6 times 58. We are having 6 times this, 6 times 8 is 40, is it 48? 48, so 8 carry 4. 6 times 5 is 30 plus 4, 34. So 348 as the answer. Okay, you bring your answer here. Your answers, the first one was just the T10 is equals to 43. Then S12 is equals to 348. Okay, then you proceed to the next question. Okay. Question, we're on question what? Question 10. Question 10 is saying, 10A, this is under probability. The probability that a learner will not miss the school bus on any particular day is 1 over 8. All right, 1 over 8. What is the probability that the learner will miss the bus on any particular day? This is simple. That's why it's even a mark. All right. So, probability of missing plus probability of not missing is equals to 1. This is the formula. Probability of A plus probability of not A is equals to 1. Okay? 1, which means certain. So here, probability of not missing class is 1 over 8. So we're going to say probability of missing is equals to 1. Then this one cross the cosine and becomes minus. So probability of not missing, okay, which is what? 1 over 8. 1 over 8. So 1 minus 1 over 8. So common denominator here, so we can just say 1 over 1 is just 8. Common denominator, 1 into 8 is 8. 8 times 1, 8 minus 8 into 8, 1. 1 times 1, 1. So here is just 8 minus 1, 7 over 8 as the answer. 7 over 8. Then you proceed. The next question here, you just need to understand it. I'll explain anyway. Two similar solids, X and Y, have surface areas 5 square centimeters and 20 square centimeters, respectively. Okay, if the volume of the solid Y of solid Y is 200 cubic centimeters. Calculate the volume of solid X. How do you solve this? This is very simple. What you need to understand is this. Let me make you understand. Okay. We have scale factors here, or ratio of sides. Okay, ratio of sides. Let me just say this. Ratio of sides in form of A to B. Okay, that's the first thing. You also have ratio of area. Ratio of area is supposed to be A squared to B squared, because area is always squared. Then ratio of volume is supposed to be A cubed to B cubed. Now, whatever you want to calculate, if you are calculating area, you need to make sure that you have ratio of area. First, you have sides area. That's when you can calculate area. If you want to calculate volume, you need to make sure that you have ratio of volume. But for you to come up with ratio of volume, you need to do what? To have this. So having ratio of sides is a must. It's a must. Okay? So if you are given area and you are asked to calculate volume, like in this question, we are given area and you're asked to calculate volume. First of all, we need to change the area to ratio of what? Ratio of their sides. Okay? That's when you can ratio of their sides, then you can cube them to this. That's when you can find volume. This is what I mean. Let me just show you. So we are given this. We are given x to y, and the x is 5, y is 20. They're stored respectively, meaning in that order. So we are given 5 centimeters squared to 20 centimeters squared. Okay, so this is what we're given. This is area. So we are going to cancel this and simplify this. 5 into 5 is 1. 5 into 20, 4. So this is not ratio of sides. This is ratio of their area. That's the reason why if you can square root here, we'll find the ratio of sides. Okay, so let's square root them. Square root of 1 is 1. Square root of 4 is what? 2. We've taken these back to ratio of sides. Okay, here 1 and 4 were in the form of a squared to b squared. 1 to 2 is in the form of a to b. Now, since we are asked to calculate volume, let's wait. To calculate volume, having reduced ratio of area to sides, we can now cube these to ratio of volume, because we want to calculate what? Volume. I hope you are now understanding. So we're going to say 1 to 2. So this is what we want to find. So we need to cube these. Let me use black so that as you are copying, you can see what I'm doing. 1 times 1 times 1 is just 1. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. So that's what it means, 2 to the power 3. So this is now in this form. Okay, now we can now calculate volume. That's when you can calculate volume. So we can say, so if the volume of y is 200, calculate the volume of x. Okay, so since this is x and this is y, so this is x, this is y, and we're given volume of y, which is 200 cubic centimeters. So ratio is just the same as 1 over 8 is equals to 1 over 8. This is 1 over 8. So this is the ratio of the smaller solid. Okay, So what's the volume of a smaller solid? Just put x over what is the volume of the larger, what is 200. Cross multiply, we're going to have 8x is equals to 2 what? 200 over 8 over 8. This and this will cancel, and we're going to say x is equals to 8 into 20. 8 into 20 is 2 times remainder 4. So this one becomes 40. 8 into 40 is 5. So the volume is 525 cubic centimeters. That's the answer I'm finding here. So you can bring your answer here. Okay. As 25 cubic centimeters. Then here is, what was the answer here? 7 over 8. Probability question, 7 over 8. Then you proceed to the next question, question 11. Okay. Question 11. So this is what you do. Where is question 11? Okay, here. Okay, question 11 is under Earth geometry, and we are asked to solve. Yeah, to solve. Now, the diagram shows the positions of 3 points P, Q, and R on the Earth's surface. So this is the diagram here. A plane flying at a speed of 650 knots takes 6 hours to fly from P to R. Okay, from P to R. Find the distance in nautical miles between P and R. P and R. So this is simple. This is simple. So we're going to say distance is equals to, or rather speed is equals to distance covered over time taken. Okay, don't forget this. Now, are we given speed? Yes, we're given 650 nautical miles, which is just our knots, which is nautical miles per hour. Is equals to distance. We don't know. So let's put x there over what is time taken, 6 hours. Cross multiply. 1 times x is just t. X is equals to, then 6 multiplied by 650. You're not supposed to use a calculator. Remember, this is mathematics paper 1. Very good. So 6 times 0 is 6. 6 times 5, 30. 0 carry 3. 6 times 6, 36. Plus 3 is the 6 plus 3, 39. So 3,900 nautical miles. Okay. How do I know that it's nautical miles, not kilometers? Because the speed is in knots, and knots, it means nautical miles per hour. So we're going to bring your answer here. You can bring your answer here as and write as 3,900 nautical miles. All right. Oh, it's even a mark. Okay. The second question is saying, when it is 8 hours, when it is 8 hours at P here, the time at Q is 11. Okay. Given that P is on longitude 15 degrees west, find the longitude on which Q lies. This is in the east. Okay, east. So what you're going to do is to solve. Now, how we are going to solve here? We should know first the time difference. Okay, time difference. So time difference to create time difference, you say, let's say TD is equals to theta, which is the difference in longitude, over 15. Okay, 15 degrees. Now, time difference we are given, we can easily find that here. How? Because we are given time 8 to 11. So we can just say here 11 hours minus 8 hours. When you calculate nicely here, this is going to give us 11 minus 8 This is 3 hours. Okay, 3 hours, which is just that is just 3. Okay, it's giving us 3. Let me just put 3 hours. Now, where there's TD here, we're going to substitute with 3. What are we finding here? We want to find the difference in longitude. Okay, first difference in longitude, time difference, then difference in longitude. Okay, so theta we don't know, so 15. Cross multiply. Theta is equals to 3 times 15 is 45. So 45 degrees. This is not the answer. This is the difference in longitude. The difference in what? Longitude between the 2 points. Now, how can we find the longitude Q here? Okay, longitude Q is east, by the way. Now, to find longitude, first, here we're going to do this. We are going to say, where is that one? 15 degrees plus, okay, plus x degrees is the longitude, is this longitude here, longitude, and this should give us the difference in longitude. Okay, 45 degrees, because why adding? We are adding because they are on different hemisphere. The other one is on the east, the other one is on the west. This is 15 degrees west, this is x degrees east, and it is 45 the difference. So to find this x degrees, we're going to say 45 minus 15. So the x degrees is equals to 45 minus 15 is 30 degrees east. So here the answer, what is that one? Longitude P is what? You can just say 30 degrees east. As simple as this. Okay, let's go to the next question, which is question 12. Okay, question 12 is saying a bottle of mineral water has a capacity of 500 plus minus 0.5 milliliters rather. Find the tolerance percentage error. This is simple. How do you find tolerance? You should know that this is a tolerance is equals to upper limit minus lower limit. Okay, now what is upper limit? Upper limit is true value plus the absolute what? Absolute error. So we've been given the absolute. This is the absolute error. Now the absolute error of the whole number is 0.5. Okay, so it will be 500 plus 0.5 minus the lower limit is the true value, which is 500 minus the absolute error. Okay, so 500 plus 0.5, this is 500.5. okay, then minus 500 minus what? 0.5, getting 499.5. okay, 500.5 minus 499 is giving us what? 1. So this is the tolerance. Tolerance is what? Just 1. So you can write your answer here as 1. Let's go to percentage error. Percentage error is also simple. So percentage error, let me just write PE. Percentage error is equals to absolute error over true value multiplied by 100 what? Percent. Multiplied by 100%. So this one is equals to absolute error of a whole number is already given here is 0.5. What is true value? True value is 500 multiplied by 100%. Okay, so these two zeros and these two zeros will cancel. So just remaining with 0.5 times 1 is just 0.5 over 5. So you have one decimal point place here, number. So you can just multiply both sides by what? 10. This times this is going to give us just a 5. Then this one will give us 50. Reducing this 5 here, 1, 5 here, 10. So you have 1 over 10. You can leave your answer like this, or you can leave it as a decimal. 10 into 1 is 0. And this one becomes 10. We are point. 10 into 10, 1%. Okay, 0.1%. So you can bring your answer here as 0.1% or as 1 over 10%. Okay, simple, right? Great. Bah! Question 13. Question 13 here. The question says, 13a, the diagram shows a circle center O with 6 identical triangles. Okay, 6 identical triangles. BOC is shaded. All right, yes, we can see. What's your question? The question is saying, name 2 other triangles. Name 2 other triangles that should be shaded so that the figure has rotational symmetry of order 3 about O here. This is simple. This is simple. But you need to understand something. Okay? We know that BOC is already shaded. So now, what does rotation symmetry of order 3 mean? So order 3 here means the figure looks exactly, okay, exactly the same after a rotation of 360 divided by this number. What do you mean, teacher? This is what I mean. Listen. So this is A. So we're going to say 360 degrees divided by order. Okay, so we are told this is 3. So let's divide by 3. This is giving us 120 degrees. That's what you mean. That's what I think. That's what I mean. So 120. So let's apply this. Okay, let's apply this. Triangle BOC is one triangle. Okay, is one triangle. So rotating BOC by 120 degrees, okay, gives the triangle, let's say, so this is this will be 60, okay, 60. This is also 60. Let me show you like this. Complete 10 here, rotation is 360, and 360 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 360 divided by 360 divided by 6 divided by 6, we're going to get what? We're going to get 60. So it is 60, 60, 60. So we have 60 degrees here, 60 degrees, 60 degrees, 60 degrees, 60 degrees, 60 degrees. Okay? Now, but where there's a triangle, the triangle is starting, that is 0. Okay? 0. So this is 60. Okay? This one, 1. This is 60. 2, 120. So this is the second triangle, or the first triangle. Okay? It is EOD. Okay? EOD or DOE. Fine. Okay? You are starting with this triangle. We're using this triangle. So when it rotates 1, this is 60. 2, 120. Okay? So 120 is giving us this. It's giving us triangle DOE. What's the next? What's the next triangle? So we are here, okay? We are here, so this will be 0. Then 1, which is 60. 2, 120. So it's giving us AOF. Okay? It's giving us AOF or FOA. That's the same. So that one and the FOA. I hope you have understood because I've just explained this one. So these are the answers. You can come and you can bring your answers here. Triangle DOE and the and triangle, let me just put this one, and triangle FOA. These are the two triangles. Okay, and okay, nice. Question B. Question B here is saying, this is under trigonometry, and the question is saying, given that tan BSc is 3/4, find the value of sin BSc. Kurivaso. So let me just sketch. To help me answer this question nicely, I'm going to draw a right angled what? Triangle. Okay. This is 90 degrees. And this is what I'm going to do. I'll write our formula. Let's write SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA. This will help us come up with the ratio. Okay. Now, this is the hypotenuse. Let me put this. This is the hypotenuse. Now, we are told that it is tan BAC. Okay. And tan is always opposite over adjacent. So if the angle is here, let me put theta here. If the angle is here, then opposite is this side, which is 4. Okay. Why am I putting 4? Because look at this. Tan theta is equals to O over A, opposite. And this is exactly. And this is adjacent, which is 3. Okay. Now, the angle is at A. Then, what is what's on? It BAC. So let's put B here, A, then C. BAC. Good. All right. Now, to find the sin BAC, we are going to say it is sin theta, or since we are given the angle, we're going to say sin BAC is equals to opposite over hypotenuse. Now, check. We have the opposite, which is what? 4. 4 over hypotenuse we don't have. But we can find the hypotenuse by using the what? Pythagoras what? Theorem, which is c squared is equals to a squared plus b squared. So c squared is the hypotenuse. So we're going to say c squared is equals to a squared. A squared. So let's put a here and b here. So we can either use a as 4, b as 3. No problem. As long as the hypotenuse is just c this side. So here we're going to say 3 squared plus 4 squared. C squared is equals to 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16. C squared is equals to 9 plus 16, 25. Square root. This and this will cancel. C is equals to 5. So someone may be asking why here we have square rooted and why the answer is not positive or negative 5. Because this is distance. Can you have a negative distance from here up to, someone says from here up to there is negative 5. So this is a hypotenuse. So we can say 4 over 5. So that's the answer. Sin back BAC is equals to 4 over 5. Simple. Let's go to the next question. Flipping a page. This is question what? 13. Now we go to question 14. Sorry. Let's solve this question 14 of 2025. Mathematics paper 1, grade 12. So this question is saying, in the following diagram, L, K, and M are points on level ground. The bearing of M from L is 110 degrees, angle LMK is 62 degrees, and angle LKM is 85 degrees. Okay, so this is the diagram here. The first question is saying calculate what? The bearing of K from M. K from M. So to calculate this, we're going to draw north here at what? At M. Okay, let me just draw the north at M like this. Okay, and I'm going to write N here. Now, is K from M, so we're going to start from M here, and we're going to move clockwise up to the line connecting K and M up to this point. Okay, so now you need to understand, my good friends. What do you need to understand? Exactly. This is the straight line. This is the straight line, and the straight line here, this straight line is 180 degrees. Now, what is the value of this angle? What is the value of this angle? We don't know. Now, but there is something special here we can use. There's the number we can use to find that one. Check. This is 110. Okay, this is 110. So it's forming this shape. This Z shape. This side is equal to this side. If this is 110, even this side here, even this side is supposed to be 100 what? 110. And we've already we've been given 62. So what's the value of this one? We're going to say 110 minus 62. Okay, so this is 48 degrees. So if here is 48 degrees, so to find the bearing from here up to here, we're going to add 180 plus 48. It's as simple as this. So this is question A. So we're going to say, okay, question A, let me just write from here. So we're going to say 180 plus 180 degrees plus 48 degrees. 180 plus 48 degrees, this is giving me 228 degrees as the answer. Okay, so you come here and bring your answer at A here as and write 228 degrees. Okay, the second question is saying, oh, by the way, there are a lot of ways of solving this question. Okay, so you just follow the shortest method or route. Okay, L from K, L from K here. So I'm going to draw north at K, like we've done to M. So let's draw north here. Okay. So this is north. So saying L from K, so we're going to move from north clockwise to the point connecting, the line connecting L and K. And you check nicely here. What is the bearing? What is the bearing? What's this angle? So this is easy. If we can find this angle here, let's put X here. If we can find the X here, it will be easy to find this. Oh, we have been given 85 here. Now, do we know this angle? Yes. Yes, because this is a Z shape, and here is 48 here. So even here is 48. So here is 48 degrees. So what we can do, this is B. What you can do, you can say 85 minus 48 to find this angle. So 85 degrees minus 48 degrees. We're going to find 37 degrees. Okay, 37 degrees. So here X is 37 degrees. So we are going to subtract 37 from 360 to find this. Okay, so you can just say 360 degrees minus 37 degrees. This is going to give me 323 degrees, okay, as the answer. Now, there are a lot of ways, like I said earlier, of solving this question. If you want, you can first find the angle inside here. You find the angle, but this is the one of the longest methods, because you are racing with time. This is mathematics paper 1. You're not supposed to use a calculator, and you are racing with time. So finding the angle here, after finding the angle, this is straight line is 180. Then subtract the angle we're going to find here. First, after finding this angle, you need to add to 110. 110 subtract from 180. Then find the angle here. That's when we're going to find 37. Let's see if you're going to find 37. This is 60. 62 plus 40, 85. This is 7. This is 14. So 147. 147. So 180 minus 147. See, this is going to give you 0 minus 37. This is 3, 7. This is also 3. So this is 33. So you add 33 or 43? 43. Okay, not 33. 43. What? 7 minus 7 minus 4, not 7 minus 3. 33, okay? Just 33. Now, 110 plus 33. This is 3, this is 4, this is 1. Then you subtract from 180 to find the angle here. So 180 minus 143. This is going to give me, this is 7, this is 7. 7 minus 4, this is 3. 37, you see? 37. Having done this work, that time job. No. So you can come here. Now, it's this 37 is not the answer. That's when you know, this is when, after finding 37, that's when you can subtract from 360 to find this answer. So let's bring our answer here. Our short answer. So that's the answer. Let's go to the next question. Question 15. Okay. Question 15A. This is coordinate geometry. Find the length of a straight line joining the points. Okay, the 2 points there. Okay, so this is okay. So to find the length, we are going to use the formula. This is AB. So we're going to say AB is equals to the square root of x2 minus x1 close bracket plus y2 minus y1 close bracket. By the way, it's supposed to be squared. Even here squared. Okay, then you have the square root. Okay, now the formula here, this is x1, this is y1, this is x2, this is y2. Okay, so the square root of x2 is negative 10 minus x1 negative 13 close bracket squared plus y2 is negative 2 minus y1 2. Okay, like this squared. Then we proceed, check so that you don't make a mistake. Okay, so this is negative, positive, the same as negative 10 plus 13, which is just 3. So don't forget you have we have a square root, so 3 squared. Negative 10 plus 13 is 3 squared. We have a 3, we have a squared, so it's 3, and we put a square. Negative 2 minus 2 is negative 4 squared. Okay, because why negative 4? Because we have two numbers with the same sign, which is negative, so we add and maintain the sign. 3 squared is 9. Negative 4 squared is positive 16. Okay, 9 plus 16 is 25. All right, then square root of 25 is just 5 units. Why not negative? Because this is length, distance. Why units? Any length is has units, okay? Either in centimeters, meters, kilometers, not come out, and so on. So you just put units at the end. So 5 units. You can bring your answer here and write it as what? 5 units. The second question is saying the following diagram shows a flow chart for a program to calculate the sum of interior angles of a polygon with n sides. Okay. All right, so this is the formula. Okay, so this is the flowchart. Use the flowchart to complete the table one. Okay, so this is the table. So we need to find number of terms here, and here we should find sum. Okay, so let's copy this formula here. So this is question B. So we're going to say S is equals to open bracket n minus 2 multiplied by, so you use the star, 180 degrees. So here we are given S as 1440 and we're asked to find n because we need to complete the table. Okay, so we're going to substitute here with 1440 is degrees is equals to n minus 2 multiplied by 180 degrees. So here we're going to divide because we're multiplying here. So we can divide both sides by 180, even this side by 180 degrees. This will cancel. So we have n minus 2. Before I write n minus 2, let me divide here. So this and this will cancel. So we have 18 into 144. Okay, 18. So we have 144 divided by what? Divided by 18. Okay, so 144 divided by 18, you can use 9 to reduce this, and we're going to find 8. So 8 is equals to n minus 2. You solve for n, and it will be 8 plus 2, because this will cross the cosine, and this is equals to n. This is therefore n is equals to 10. So you can bring your answer here. Okay, and 10. Okay, then here what's missing? We're given 18 as number of sides, number of terms. Then here we are not given sum. So using the same formula, S is equals to open bracket n minus 2 close bracket, then times 180 degrees. So S is equals to n 18. So we're going to say 18 minus 2 times 180 degrees. So 18 minus 2, this is 16 times 180 degrees. Then 16 multiply 16 times 180. Okay, 16 times 180, this is 2880 degrees. You're not supposed to use a calculator, so you should know how to multiply. Bring your answer, 2880. Yeah. Okay, guys, if you are still together up to this point, consider subscribing if you are if you like the video or like the way I'm solving. Okay. Question 16, this is functions. So the question reads, the functions f and g are defined as f of x is equals to 2x plus 1 and g of x is equals to 3 over x minus 2. And take note that x shouldn't be positive 2 because this function will be undefined. All right, so let's solve. First question is find f inverse of x. To find f inverse of x, we're going to use this function, which is f of x is equals to 2x plus 1. So the first step is replace the function f of x with y. Okay, after replacing with y, you make x the subderivative formula. So let me just take the positive 1 to this side, and becomes y minus 1 is equals to 2x. It's not yet independent x. So we're going to divide by 2 both sides. So therefore x is equals to y minus 1 over 2. X is now the substitute formula. Then I can replace y with x, then attach the inverse function. So I can just say f inverse of x is equals to, then the y changes to x like this, and this is the what? This is the answer. Okay. Then the second question, we're asked to find gf of x. Okay. Gf of x. So we're going to start with the g function. G function is 3 over x minus 2. That's the g function. So what it means, what this means is that wherever there is x, substitute the if function, the second function. So we're going to say 3 over, what is x? X here is, we're going to replace with f function, which is what? 2x plus 1. So we're going to say 2x plus 1, then minus 2. We've replaced, I have replaced x with this function. Okay, so I have 3 open bracket. You can't multiply here. Okay, so it is just 2x plus 1 minus 2. This is what we're having. So you have 3 open bracket over into open bracket. So 2x, 1 minus 2 is negative 1, and this is the answer. So I was saying 1 minus 2 is negative 1 here. Okay, so we have 3 over 2 x minus 1. So this is g f of x. Then the last question here, we're asked to find gf of negative 2. We've already found gf of x. So this is c. So gf of x is equals to 3 over 2x minus 1. So gf of negative 2, it means that where there is x, we substitute with what? Negative 2. So this will be like this. 3 over 2 times negative 2 is negative 4 minus 1. 3 over negative 4 minus 1 is negative 5. And this is the answer. Okay. So you can bring your answers here. The first one was f inverse of x is equals to x minus 1 over 2. The second one was gf of x is equals to 3 over 2x minus 1. Then the last one is gf of negative 2, which is equals to 3 over negative 5. Okay. That's question 16. Hello guys, we have question 17 of 2025 mathematics paper 1. Question 18 of 2025 grade 12 exam is this is variation, and it's saying 3 variables p, q, and r are such that p varies as q and inversely as the square of r. All right, the following table shows some corresponding values of pq and r. Find the value of k, the constant of variation. So let's start calculating. So here we're going to say, let's interpret this. We need to come up with a formula. So we're going to say is p varies as q, and inversely is 1 over as r squared. So p, so you are going to have p is where there's this variation symbol, going to say is equals to q times 1 is q. So then you introduce the constant k, so it will be kq over r squared. Okay, and this is joint variation. This is a combination of direct variation, direct and inverse variations. Okay, so to find the value of k, we need to check on our table which set contains all numbers or values of 9, 12, 2. So this one, yes, we can use this one. So what's the value of P? 9. We're going to find K. What is Q? 12. What is R? 2. So it will be 2 squared. So here we're going to say 9 is equals to K, you have 12, here you have 4. 9 is equals to K, 12, 4 here, 1, 4 here, 3. So you have 3. Let me just write 3K over 3. You can divide both sides by 3. Okay. K is equals to 3 into 9, 3 times. So K is what? 3. Okay. Let's now find the second question. The second question is saying find the value of A. So we're going to use this formula. This is the formula we've generated. Okay. So it's P is equals to KQ over R squared. I want to find the value of A. So what is P? P is A. So we're going to substitute with A. I hope you can see. P here is A. K is 3. Okay, what is Q? Q is 42. R is 3, so it will be 3 squared. Okay. And A is equals to, this is mathematics paper 1, you remember? So you need to make your calculations very simple. So 3, so don't multiply, wait. 3 multiplied by 4, just to show that we are multiplying. 3 squared is just 3 times 3. So you can cancel 3 is 3 and this 3 cancel. So A is equals to 3 here, 1. 3 into 4, 1, remainder 1. 3 into 12 is 4. So it's 14. Okay. So 14 times 3 is 42. Okay. So 14. So the value of A is what? 14. So we can go to the third question, which is question C. The third question C is saying find the positive value of B. So this tells us we can as well find negative. Now they want us to find the positive value. All right. So the formula is just the same. P is equals to KQ over R squared. I want to find the value of B. So what is P? So B is here. So P is 6. So we're going to substitute with 6. You see? P is 6 here. Then Q is 72. So we're going to say K is 3. Q is 72. Then R is B. So where this R, we're going to put B. So it will be B squared. Okay. Then we cross multiply. So this will be 6B squared is equals to, don't multiply I. Remember what I told you? Just to show that you're multiplying 3 times 72 over 6 over 6. Why are you supposed to multiply here? Because you're going to get a big number, and it will be very difficult to divide big numbers because you're not supposed to, you're not using calculators. So you can reduce here, 3 here, 1, 3 here, 2. 2 into 7, 2 into 7 is 3 times remainder 1. Then 2 into 12 is 6. So B is equals to 36. So here you can square root. Now when you square root a number, you can get either positive or negative. We get 2 numbers, negative and positive. But here we are told that we should find the positive value of B. So we're going to get the positive number value. B is equals to 30. The square root of the 6 is just 6. So let's put our answers here. K is equals to 3. A is 14. And the last one, B is 6. So this is it. Okay. Nice. Remember to subscribe and to also like the video. Question 19 here is saying question 19a, we are asked to find this indefinite integral of is that 6x squared minus x plus 3 dx. Okay, this is very simple. So integrating this, we're going to say 6x 2 plus 1 over 2 plus 1, add 1, then this one x 1 plus 1 over 1 plus 1, because this x is raised to an invisible one. Then integration of a constant number, just add the x, then plus c, which is an arbitrary constant. All right, this is simple. When you reach this stage, you add, so it will be 6x to the power 3 over 3 minus x squared over 2. Just this will remain the way it is, like this. Don't forget to add c. Okay, 3 into 6 is 2, 2x to the power 3 minus x squared over 2 plus 3x plus c, and this is the answer. So you can just write your answer here as 2x to the power 3 minus x squared over 2 plus 3x plus c. That's the answer. And the last question under question 19 is saying, on the diagram in the answer space, draw triangle N, the image of M under translation T -2 1. Okay, so let's check here. So let me just write here. Translation, it is -2 1. Okay, so translation is very simple. So you can just pick one point. Let me start with this one point, and this is x and this is y. X, you can either move to the right or to the left. To the right it's positive, to the left negative. Then y, you can either move up or down. Moving up is positive, moving down is negative. So according to this, x is supposed to move this side, okay, negative. So how many times? 2 times. 1 2. So it's here, okay. Then y, okay, so has moved 1 2. Then it's supposed to move up by 1 step. So this is where yeah, let me not write. So this is where this point is here. So you do the same. This one, it will be 1 2 1 here. This one 1 2 1 here. Then you draw nicely, you connect. Okay, like this. Okay, nicely like this. Okay, so then you just indicate this is any. That's it. You're done. All right. Okay, question 20. You have 2 questions as well. Question A and B. So the question is saying, so let me just write from here. The vectors A, B, and C, you have these such that A plus vector A plus 2 vector B is equals to vector C. Find the values of M and N. This is simple. So this will be more like our formula. Okay, what is A here? We want to find M. All right, so M is on top, so we're going to say A is just 7 here plus M here is 2B, so it will be 2 times M, which is equals to C, which is 5. Okay, so here, because the cosine, it will be 2M is equals to 5 minus 7. 2M is equals to negative 2 over 2 over 2. M is equals to negative 1. Okay, M is equals to negative 1. Let's solve for N. N is down here, so we're going to say 2 plus 2 times negative 3 is equals to Cn. Okay, so 2, this times this, negative times positive, positive and negative is just negative. 6 is equals to N. 2 minus 6 is 4, which is negative 4. So these are the answers. Okay, so you can bring your answers here. M is negative 1, N is negative 4. These are the values we have found. Now, this question here, this question is very simple. In the following diagram, the sector OAB of a circle has radius r, angle AOB is 63. So given the area of a sector is 66.55 cubic centimeters, calculate the radius or radius. So the formula is area is equals to theta over 360 times pi r squared. Okay, this is the formula. Where there's A, we're going to substitute with area, which is 66.55 is equals to, where there's theta, 63 over 360 multiplied by 22 over 7. Okay, yeah, multiplied by r squared, of course. Okay, so we can reduce here, but check here, you have 2 decimal places, so we can just write this number, we can multiply by 100 both sides. You can say 6655 divided by 100 is equals to 63 over 360. Okay, 360 times 22 over 7 times radius squared. Okay, radius squared. So this is the type of question where you require a lot of time. So because yeah, we need to make sure that what you are doing is correct, and this should be the one of the last questions to solve, because it's wasting time. So we can reduce 7 here. 7 into 63, it's 9 times, and you know that 9 can go into 36. Okay, into 36, so that's 360. Okay, so you can still reduce 9 here. 9 into 360 is 40. Okay, now we can continue reducing. 2 here 11, 2 here 20. All right, so let's end here so that we don't let's just cross multiply. It will be this over 100 times 11 times r. It will be 100 times 11 times r squared is equals to 60,655 times 20. 60,655 times 20. You can divide by, what is this? This is supposed to be 100. This is supposed to be 100. Not this. So 100 times 11. Even this side, 100 times 11. This will cancel. R squared is equals to, check, we can still reduce this. Do you know that 11 can go into this what's this, 6655. 11 here, 11 into 66 is what? 6 times. 11 into 5, it can't. 11 into 55 is what? 5 times. So 605. Okay, then this is 100. 20 here 20 here 4. So we have 604 over 4. So r squared is equals to 605. Okay, so 605 divided by 4. Okay, 605 divided by 4. Okay, so we check nicely. 20 times 4 is 80. So this is not 4, it is 5. So these are some of the common mistakes. Okay, so 605 divided by what? 605 divided by 5. So 6 into 6, 5 into 6 is 1, remainder 1. 5 into 10 is 2. Okay, 5 into 5 is 1. Oh, good. We're almost done. We square root here. This and this will cancel. Radius is equals to, so what's the square root of 120 what? What's the square root of 121? Okay, the square root of 121 is 11. So it'd be 11 centimeters. So r here is equals to 11 centimeters. Okay, so done. This is question 20. Let's go to question 21. This is circle theorems. So the question reads, A, B, C, and D are points on the circumference of the circle center O, such that angle OBC is 40 degrees, DCA is 32 degrees, and TR is a tangent. Okay, of the circle to the center at B here. The diameter AC and the chord BD. Okay, all right, and intersect at X. Okay, fine. Find angle ABT. This is number 1. So this question is very simple. If you know theorems, all 8, there are about 8 theorems under circle theorems. You must know them for this question to be easy. For you to answer this question is easily without problems. Okay, if you don't know the theorems, this will be difficult. Circle theorems will always difficult for you. Okay, always be difficult for you. All right. So this one is simple. So it's saying ABT. What is it? ABT. They want this angle. This angle here. Okay. So how can you find this angle? I want you to understand that there is a property. Let me teach you something here. If this is a circle and this is the tangent, okay, then you have a chord inside which is touching this tangent. Okay, you have something like this. Okay, let's call this one ABC. What this means, let's say XY. What this means that this angle, exterior angle, is equal to the opposite interior angle. Okay, because this is a chord. Okay, this is a chord or a segment. All right, AB. What happens is that as long as this is forming an angle on the circumference anywhere, it could be here. Okay, this angle is same as this. It could be here. All right, this angle is equal to this. So having that, let's check what we are having here. Having looked at that, check, we're having AB, and AB, look where this line is going, here. So we need to find this angle for us to find this one. Now check, this is the center, this is the diameter. All right, so this is a radius, this is also a radius. Any line connecting to the center from the circumference is a radius. So if this is a radius, this is also a radius. You have 2 radii. So the triangles they're forming is an isosceles what? Triangle. And an isosceles triangle has bases the same. So even here is what? 40. Okay? It is 40 even there. So if here is 40, even here is what? 40. Okay? Then the answer ABT is equals to 40 degrees. As simple as that. Okay? So it's easy if you know the properties. Okay? I hope now you are getting the point. Okay. The next question is saying OAB. OAB. Oh, by the way, I was saying this side is equal to this side. So this is an isosceles what? Triangle. The second question is saying OAB. Find OAB. Where's O? OAB. This one. OAB. Okay. This is simple. This is very, very simple. A lot of ways you can solve this one. But check. If we can find the angle at the center here, it will be very easy to find this one. Okay, it is very easy to find this angle. So at the center, we already have 40, 40 at the center here. So we're going to say, so this is OAB, angle OAB is equals to, for us to find this one, first we need to find angle at the center, which is BOC. Let's find BOC first. BOC is equals to 180 minus the sum of the two angles, which is 40 plus 40. By the way, these are supposed to be in degrees. So 180 minus 80 degrees, which is just 100 degrees. So here at the center is 100 degrees. And the angles at the center is twice on the circumference. Okay, on the circumference, angles at the center here, it is twice. Okay, that on the circumference. So this one is 2 times what is here on the circumference. So to find OB it has to be half of 100 degrees, which is just 50 degrees. All right, so this is just 50 what? 50 degrees. Now you can still do this. Check, this is also a radius, all right, and this is 100. What you can do is find this one. This will be 50. This will be 80 because this is 100 straight line, 180, 100. So this is 80. Then find the bases. If this is 80, what is the value of these two angles? So that when you add all the three should give you 180. So this is supposed to be 50, 50, 50 plus 50, 100 plus 180 plus 80, 180. So you see, a lot of ways of solving the question. The last one, which is the 2-mark question, C, we are asked to find CXD. CXD, this one. So what you can do, let me just show you another property here. Okay, if I have a circle here, then I have this chord or segment. If I draw a triangle like this, let's say this is A, B, and C. If I have 30 here, if I have another triangle, okay, let's say we have 30. If I have another triangle coming from A, going anywhere on the circumference, and then coming at B, this must also be 30. That's what it means. Okay, it's the same as this. If let's say this is U, this is U. Let me draw. This is U. Okay, with the hands. This is U. What is in between here is supposed to be what's in the what's here on your shadow. Okay, the shadow is still where you are stepping. Okay, the angle may be different. I mean, the size may be different, but what is here is just the same. The angle. Yeah, I hope you're now understanding. Let's get back to this. But here you can see nicely you have BC. Okay, BC. So from B you have this. Okay, this is 50. Then same at B we have this side going at C. So this angle is supposed to be equal to this angle. So this is 50. Okay, having known that, it will be easy to find this one because angles in a triangle add up to 180. So CXD is equals to 180 minus, in bracket, 50 degrees plus 32 degrees. 50 degrees plus 32 what? Plus 32 degrees. And this should give us 180 degrees minus, this is 82 degrees. Okay, so 180 minus 82 degrees, it is 90. You seeing? Okay, sorry. So 180 minus 50 degrees plus 32. We're adding angles in a triangle. Okay, so 180 minus the sum of these two is 82. So 180 minus 82, it is 98 degrees. So this is the answer. So you can bring your solutions here. The first one was 40 degrees. Second one, 50 degrees. Then last one, 98 degrees. Okay, so we're done to question 17. Let's go to question 18. Hello guys, let's solve question 21 of 2025 grade 12 exam. So the question reads, write the three inequalities that define the unshaded region R here on the diagram. Okay. The three inequality, this is 5 marks, and this question doesn't miss in the exam. You just have to know how to go about it. Okay. So now, this is what I'm going to do, and this is what I always advise my learners, that you always choose the shortest inequality or the simplest inequality, or easiest to solve. So here, and how can you identify? They are very simple. They are either vertical, straight lines, or horizontal. These that are in diagonal, you can't just solve them direct. Okay, you just need to do some calculations. Now let's start with the very first question, which is this one. This inequality here, it is x is equals to, now where is this cutting? This is 0, this is positive 1 here. So it's cutting at positive 1 where x is 1. Now this is an equation. What is the inequality? So now to come up with an inequality here, we are going to first to look at where it is shaded. Okay, where it is shaded is what? On the greater than. Okay, not equals to, let me just erase this one. So it will be x is where the shading is on the greater than, so we're going to write less than. So we're going to write less than. Then the nature of a line, this is a solid line, so we're going to put or equal to. So less than or equal to the number which is here, which is what? 1. So this is the first inequality. Okay. Then the other inequalities, we have this. You just need to get the coordinates. So the first coordinate I'm going to get, I'm going to get this one, this coordinate, and this one. Okay. All right. This one is x is 0, so it's 0, 5. So I'm going to write this one as 0, 5, and here x is negative 5, y is positive 2. So I'm going to say negative 5, 2. Okay, with this information, there are a lot of ways you can solve this question, but there is just the one simple way. Okay, so this is the formula: y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 is equal to the same formula here. The only difference is that here you not to have a 2, just have a y minus y1. Here you have x minus x1. Then this is x1, this is y1, this is x2, this is y2. Let's substitute. All right. So when you substitute here, y2 is 2. So it will be 2 minus y1, which is 5, over x2 is negative 5 minus x1 is 0. Is equals to, what is the value of this y? Is just y minus y1 is 5 over x minus x1 is 0. Okay, so we can just solve here. We can just say 2 minus 5 is negative 3. Negative 5 minus 0 is just negative 5. Is equals to y minus 5 is just y minus 5. But x minus 0 is just x. All right. Here, this and this will cancel. We just have 3 over 5. So we can cross multiply 5 times 5 multiplied by y minus 5 is equal to 3 times x is just 3x. All right. Can expand here. 5 times y, 5y. 5 times 5, 25 is equals to 3x. We need to leave this our answer in this form. Y is equals to mx plus c. All right. So here going to remain with the 5y is equals to 3x. Then the positive or negative 5 crosses the cosine becomes positive 25. So this can be reduced, so you have a fraction, but let's just leave it here. But take note, these are inequalities and not equations. So the shading is on the greater than. So the wanted region is on the less than, and the nature of the line is dashed or dotted. So here it will be 5y is less than 3x plus 25. This is the answer. Okay. Then or you can simplify it further by dividing throughout by 5, which will be 5 less than 3 over 5x plus 5 into 25 is just 5. This is also acceptable. Okay. Then the last one, which is this inequality. Okay. You see, the coordinates here we have 0, 0, and here we have negative 5, y is 2 here, positive 2. This is x1, this is y1. This is x2, this is y2. The same formula like you've done there, here, we're going to say y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 is equals to y minus y1 over x minus x1. y2 is 2 minus y1 is 0 over x2 is neg 5 minus x1 is 0 is equals to y minus y1 is 0 over x minus x1 0. Okay. So this is 2 minus 0 is what? 2. Then we have negative 5 minus 0 is negative 5. Is equals to y minus 0 is just y over x minus 0 is just x. Cross multiply here. This will give us negative 5y is equals to 2x. Okay. Okay. So here I'm going to divide by negative 5 here. So this and this will cancel. So y is equals to negative 2 over 5x. Okay. Then don't forget this is an equality. So the shading is on the less than. So wanted region is on the greater than, and the line is solid. So therefore this is going to be y is greater than. Okay, question 21, 22 of 2025, Mathematics Part 1. All right. So the first question is saying, solve the equation. This is the equation. So let me just solve it from here. It's x to the power 3 over 2 is equals to 8. So solving this one, this is very simple. So we need to multiply this one by its reciprocal, which is the same number, but we reciprocate. It will be 2 over 3. Or even this side, we're going to introduce 2 over 3. So that when this one cancel, we just remain with x is equals to 8 to the power 2 over 3. Then here we're going to find x is equals to the cube root of 8 to the power 2. Okay. Then x is equals to the cube root of 8 is 2 to the power 2. Therefore, 2 to the power 2 is 4. So x is what? X is 4. Okay, so you can bring your answer here and write x is equals to 4. Let's now solve this graph. Okay, when you look at the graph here, this parabola, the following is, the question reads, the following is a graph of y is equals to this. The graph cuts the x-axis at a is at a and b. Okay, here. So first question is find the coordinates of a and b. All right. This is very simple. To find the coordinates of a and b, we are going to write like this. Copy the here. So we're going to copy the equation. The equation is y is equals to negative x squared plus 12x minus 11. Now, take note that in the x-axis, the value of y is 0. So we're going to say negative x squared plus 12x minus 11 is equals to 0. Okay? Now, we can get rid of this negative so that we can calculate it very well. How? By multiplying throughout by negative. So this will give us positive x squared. This will give us negative 12x. This will give us positive 11 is equals to 0. Okay, so now we can find the product of a and c. A is 1, c is 11. So product is 11. What is the sum? Sum is this b, which is negative 12. All right, negative 12. Where am I getting the a, the b, the what? The format of any quadratic equation is supposed to be ax squared plus bx plus c is equals to what? 0. Okay, so now a is the number in front here, which is just 1. B is the number in front here, which is just negative 12. C is this negative 11. Okay. Oh, it's 11 since we're using this here. Okay. Now, two factors of two numbers, when you multiply them, this will give you 11. And when you add, they should give you this. They should give you, what's this? Positive 12. What are those two numbers? Okay, so we'll notice that we have a 1 and 11 itself. Now, check. Both numbers must be negative. Okay, must be negative. Because negative 1 times negative 11 is positive 11. Negative 1 plus 11, negative 11 is negative 12. So these are the factors. So we can factorize by grouping. We can say x squared minus negative 1x, which is just negative x, minus 11x plus 11 is equals to 0. We've split this one, negative 12. Now we can factorize by grouping. So what's common here between the first two terms is x. So x into x squared is just x. X into negative x is just 1, negative 1. Here what's common here is negative 11. Negative 11 into negative 11 just remain with x. Negative positive is negative. Negative 11 into 11 is 1 is equals to 0. What's inside here is just the same, meaning what we are doing is the correct thing. So we can say x minus 1, then this is what is common, x minus 1. Then you can write x, this x here, minus 11 is equals to 0. Solving for x, you can say x minus 1 is equals to 0. Okay. or we can also say x minus 11 is equals to 0. So let's solve for x. X is equals to 1. Then here x is equals to positive 11. So you check on your graph which one should be 1 and which one should be 11. This must be 1, this one 11. Okay, so the coordinates, you can say therefore A, the value of x here is 1, the value of y is 0. Then B, the value of x is 11, the value of y is 0. So you can bring your answers here and write 1, 0, 11, 0. Simple as this. Okay. Then, so to find the maximum value, we are going to use the formula y is equals to 4ac minus b squared over 4a. Right. So here we're going to use the original equation. Our original equation is y is equals to negative x squared plus 12x minus 11. So the value of a is negative 1, the value of b is 12, the value of c is negative 11. Okay, then we substitute. So y is equals to 4 multiplied by a is negative 1, c is negative 11 or minus, then this is what? This is b, which is 12. Okay, so 12 squared over 4 multiplied by a which is negative 1. Okay, then this is what you do. Y is equals to 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 times negative 11 is positive 44. Minus 12 squared is 144 over 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. 44 minus 144 is negative 100 over negative 4. Negative divided by negative is positive. So 4 into 100 is 25. You see, this is 25. So y is 20. Y is 25. So you check, you look at this. Look at the question. So this is the maximum, and this y, the value of y this side is positive. Okay. So this is our answer. Our answer is correct. Right. Hello guys, let's solve this last question of 2025 Mathematics Paper 1, grade 12. So this is travel graph. This is under travel graph, and this is the speed time graph. So the diagram shows the speed time graph of a moving object. So this is the diagram. All right, so the first question is saying, find the acceleration of the object in the first 8 seconds. In the first 8 what? Seconds. So the formula for acceleration is equals to final velocity minus initial velocity over time taken. All right, or speed. All right, so it's the same. So final velocity here, or final speed, this is 20. It is 20, so I'm going to substitute 20. Initial here is 0. Over time taken is just 8. All right, so this gives me 20 minus 0 is just 20 over 8. 20 into 8 into 20 is 2 times remainder 4 over 8, but this can be reduced. 4 here 1, 4 here 2. So this gives me my answer to 2 whole number 1 over 2 meters per second squared. So you can bring your answer here and write acceleration is equals to 2 whole number 1 over 2 meters per second squared. Okay, the second question is saying, given that the object covered the distance of 115 in the first 10 seconds, here it covered a distance of 115. All right, find the value of v. So v is here. Okay, so this is simple. So this is how we're going to solve this question. So look at this. The distance covered here, we're using the shape another graph, you have a triangle and the trapezium. So area of a triangle is half BH. We're going to add this to this one, which is what? Which is a trapezium, which is half, open bracket, A plus B, then H. All right. So half, what is B of it? This triangle, B is 8, so we're going to write 8. What is H? The height here is what? Is 20. So we're going to write 20 here. All right. We should bear in mind that the total distance of this have been given as 100 what? 115. So we can even include it here as 115. Okay. Plus half. What is a A? So trapezium here, this can be the A, this one B. So A is from 0 to 20, not 8 to 20. It's 0 to 20, so you can just say 20. What is the B from 0 to V? It is just the V. Height, it is this one. This is the H. 8 to 10, it's just 2. Just 10 minus 8, so 2. So 115 is equals to half of 8 is 4. 4 times 20 is 80. So 80 plus half of 2, just 1. So here we just have 20 plus V. So for V, so we're going to have, this is 100, and 100 cross the cosine becomes 115 minus 100. So 80 plus 20 is 100, okay? So is equals to V. So 115 minus 100, it is just 15, is equals to V. Therefore, V is equals to 15 meters per second. Okay, 15 meters per second. Then question C, calculate the average speed of the object in the first 14 seconds. So we're going to use this formula for speed. Average speed is equals to distance covered over time what? Taken. Now, what is the distance covered in the first 14 seconds? We know in the first 10 seconds, this one we've been given as 115. Now the last, in the 14 seconds, is next 14 seconds. So we can calculate, that's a rectangle. So we can say area of a rectangle is just LB or just BH. Okay, area or distance, you may call it. This is 10 to 14, just 4. 4 multiplied by, what is the height? We found 15. So distance is equals to, this is 60. So total distance covered, total distance is equals to 115 plus 60. Okay, which is 175. 175 meters. Over time taken is 14. Okay, 14 seconds. So 14 into 175, 14 into 175, it is 12 times, remainder 1/2 meters per second. So this is the average speed. Okay, so you can bring your answers here. V is equals to 15 meters per second. Then the average speed is 12, number 1/2 meters per second. Okay, it's as simple as this. This is the last question. This marks the end of Mathematics Paper 1 of 2025. If you've enjoyed the video, consider subscribing, like the video, can give us a comment. Thank you so much.